So this is the Sire Larry Carlton S7, which is an affordable S-style guitar which has been getting loads of good reviews recently and being praised as a really good alternative to buying a Strat. And so I thought I'd compare it to the cheapest Fender Stratocaster that you can get, which is this, the Fender Player Series Stratocaster. The S7 is slightly cheaper, and it has a bunch of extra features that you don't get on the Player Series Strat. Things like locking tuners. It has a bone nut and a baked maple neck. But does that make it a better guitar? So let's have a comparison. Now I should just say before we go any further that I have 942 on the Player Series Strat. Now that's what comes from the factory with 942, and it's 10s on the Sire Larry Carlton, so 1046. I did think about putting possibly the same set of strings on both guitars, but then I thought it was better to just compare them the way they come from the factory. So it's 9s on the Strat and 10s on the S7. So I should just say that all of these sounds that you're hearing are being recorded through a Helix LT, and I'm on the front pickup on the Player Series Strat. Roll the tone off a little bit. Roll the tone all the way off. Roll the tone off. All the way off. Now let's add some gain and see how the pickups clean up when you roll off the volume. So I'm on the front pickup again on the Strat. Now onto the next position between the neck and the middle pickup. Roll the tone off a bit. on to just the middle pickup on its own. And the next position is between the bridge and the middle. So obviously comparing the bridge pickup between these two guitars is a bit irrelevant because one of them has a single coil and the other one has a humbucker, but I'll give you some tones anyway. I really like the pickups on both these guitars, and I have to say I don't care that much about the extra features that you get on the S7. I mean, things like locking tuners don't bother me that much. I think the neck is beautiful on the S7. They've really done a good job with it, but I don't think the fact that it's baked maple makes that much difference to me. I just think that they've done a really good job with the neck. So I really just judge these on kind of how they play and how they sound. They both play beautifully. The Sire I'm playing literally as it was set up from the factory. I didn't have to do anything to it. I did have to do a bit of setting up on the Fender Player Series Strat, so that did require a little bit of work. But now that I've done that work, it does play really beautifully, and I've been changing the two guitars between tuning them in E flat and tuning them in standard tuning, and they're both taking to the two tunings really well, which I'm impressed by, especially given that both guitars have a floating bridge. Obviously, the S7 has a humbucker in the bridge, so it's HSS, and the Strat has 3 single coils. But I would just point out at this point that both guitars are available in both pickup configurations. So you can get an S7 with 3 single coils, and you can get a Fender Player Series Strat with a humbucker. And yeah, one other thing that I prefer slightly about the Player Strat actually is that it's slightly lighter. It's a little bit lighter than the S7, and I do prefer that. I prefer the weight of the Player Series Strat. And it feels a little bit more like a real Strat, but maybe that's just because it's got the right name on the headstock. Maybe that's all it is. be honest, I really like both of these guitars. I think the S7 is a really, really good guitar for the money. But I have to say, the Fender, just to me, feels more like a real Strat. And that's not to say it's better. I think if anything, I would say that the S7 is probably a better guitar overall. So if you're looking for a really good guitar for the money, then any of the Sire Larry Carlton guitars would probably be a safe bet. But if you're looking for a Fender Stratocaster on a budget, then you probably can't do better than the Player Series Strat.